Hello, all. Shalom to all of you, and nice to have you here in this channel again, Light to the Nations channel. I decided to put this short video. I will try to make it short to give you an update that finally I completed to have the updated version of my calendar, the one that I showed in the virtual house church on last Friday. So I decided to put this video just to give you some kind of guidelines on how to use the calendar. It's not difficult to use it, but I think it's gonna be much easier if I explain you what was my reasoning behind the calendar, and in order to be a real benefit for you. So before doing that, I want to show you this one. This is the calendar basically. This is a printed copy of the calendar I made last year. Actually, this version I did it last year for the first time. And that moment I printed some copies in English and other ones in Spanish, and I give it to some people as a gift, family, friends, just to, I don't know, the intention was to give them some kind of understanding or interest on the Torah and the way of YaHuWaH. And I will show you more details of this calendar just for you to see that I'm really doing the transition. In this calendar, you can see over there, the day is starting, the first day of the first month is starting, and I was calling it in the past Rosh Chodesh, and was starting with the first with the new moon. Okay, and I also have in this calendar the understanding of a day from Erev to Erev, and even in this calendar I had an option A. I will show you. I had also here an option B. Why is that? Because in the Hillel calendar and all the moons based calendar, everything depends on when we see the moon. So if the people were not seeing the moon in Jerusalem, actually what I was doing, I was checking some websites and internet of people that are checking the barley, checking the new moon, and they are giving some reports. So every month I was taking a look on that in order to decide if the month was starting or not. So that's why I had the option A and the option B, depending on when the day was starting. It was a interesting journey. I was discussing with an important person for me this week that those are necessary steps to make. Believe me, if I wasn't starting on that journey, even following a calendar that I now know that is not correct, maybe I wasn't moving forward on the path. So that was a necessary step, and what YaHuWaH is doing with us is giving us more light. It's like it's written in Mishle, the path of the Tzaddik, the righteous, is like the light of the morning, of dawn, that is increasing and increasing until the day is perfect. So when it's going to be that day that is going to be perfect, when the Malchut Hachamayim, the King of the Heavens, is going to be here, and when we have Mashiach, when we will know him face to face, and he will teach us everything that maybe we don't understand now. So if you are doing the transition as I'm doing it now, don't feel bad that maybe we were following a wrong calendar in the past. It was a necessary step in order to receive more light and receive more understanding on his truth. And believe me, in the way we will face similar moments like this one, that we will look behind and we will see that there were some things that maybe we're not doing it correct, but it was necessary to work that out in order to learn more from the Father. So good, we are in the new year, Shana Tova, as I mentioned in another video. Shana Tova means Happy New Year in Hebrew. Actually, the literal interpretation is good year. And so now I have the version of the calendar updated, and I will show you and explain you some of the details of the calendar, so it's going to be much easier for you. So let me share with you my screen. Here we go, and let me zoom out just to give you a first glimpse of the calendar. Okay, so this is the calendar. Basically, we have the 12th month of the year, starting with the first one. I will show you every page. This is the second month, and we have the third month here. Also, we have the fourth month, and just a comment here. The picture here, I had the pleasure to take it by myself. This is the Sea of Galilee, and I was spending the evening on a Shabbat day in the river of the sea. This is a very special place. If you have not had the chance to go to Israel, and if you have it in the near future, go here. It's very, very special. And this is the fifth month. Again, it's another comment. I took this picture. This is the Garden of Gethsemane, also very special place. And then you have, you have the 6th month, the 7th month. I didn't took those pictures, by the way. And the 8th month, the 9th, we have the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. As I told you in other videos, the beautiful thing of this calendar that we know for certain that it is having only 12 months. No need to add a 13th month, because there is no place in the scriptures that is supporting a 13th month. So this is the perfect calendar. This is the true calendar of YaHuWaH. So the calendar basically has three main sections. The first section is the one over here with the picture, where you have a passage from the scriptures over here, and also where is the month on YaHuWaH's calendar, and more information that I'll explain in a moment. The second section is the main calendar, basically, with all the information, the 30 days on the month, and also when we have special days like the Moedim or Rosh Chodeshim, or days of remembrance. And the third section is basically the parashot, is the portions of the Torah for each one of the weeks. So I included over here just for references and the passages that should be written. So let me show you. I'm gonna do a zoom in here. So here we have. So in the first section, just to explain you, we have the name of the month, or the number of the month, the first Chodesh in Hebrew, and the second line is basically the months in the Gregorian calendar. So the first month is between March and April 2017, and the third line is the reference on the Jewish calendar, current Jewish calendar. So the first month on YaHuWaH's calendar is going to happen between Adar and Nisan of this year. Okay, you will have the same information in each one of the months. So here in the second month, for example, is going to be between April and May 2017, and between Nisan and Iyar on the Jewish calendar. So this is the same pattern for each one of the pages per month. So let's review. I'm making clicks in a totally wrong place. So let me show you. Here we are, the second section, and it's the most important one with the most of the information. So basically what you see over here is the 7 Yomim of the Shavua, the 7 days of the week, starting with the first day and ending up with the Shabbat. And in this line here you have the name in Hebrew. Yom Rishon is the first day, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, Yom Revi, Yom Hamishi, Yom Shishi, and Yom Shabbat. Then you have a visual representation of the day. I show you in my calendar of last year. I have a day starting on the Erev of the previous day, including the night and the day. In this renovated version, we are including the understanding of what really a day is according to the scriptures, meaning that we are starting in Boker in the morning and the sunrise, and ending on Erev, the evening, on sunset. That's a day. So keep in mind that between the first day and the second day, we have a night between both of them. It's a cycle of the night, but the whole idea is to represent here what the day is, and just to have a consequent understanding on the calendar. Okay. The next line. This is the reference according to the Gregorian calendar. So you have the date, the month, and the day on the Gregorian calendar, and also you have the name of the day. In this case, for example, today that we started with the year in the 4th day of the week. Sorry. Here you have again Yom Revi. This was on March 22nd, Wednesday. And then you have March 23 is the 5th day, and so on. The main area of this second section is this one, and here you have the information of the number of the day in the YaHuWaH's calendar. So starting on the first day, second, until the 30th day. You know, all the months has 30 days. And in some months we have a special day, that is an intercalary day that is not included in the reckoning of the month, but it needs to be considered in the reckoning of the year. And that's the explanation that the book of Hanoch is providing us. Okay, so also in each one of the days, if we have a special day, a special event on that day, is going to be included over here. For example, in the March 21st, we have the 4th and last day of remembrance of last year. It was the 4th intercalary day, and also was the day of the equinox. So that's the information you have over there. And we have in the first day of the month, is as the Torah called this day, is the Rosh Chodeshim. This is the head of the months, and also is known as Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year. Okay, and the same information we have, for example, in the 14th, we know that we have Pesach starting on the evening over here, and we have that night of watches that the Torah is talking about on Shemot, Exodus. It's going to happen between the night here on the 14th and the 15th, and on the 15th day, meaning on the April the 5th, Pesach is April 4th, just to have the reference on the Gregorian calendar, April the 4th in the evening, and in the April 5, during the day, we have the first day of the Chag HaMatzot, the feast of unleavened bread, and it was the day when Israel came out of Mizraim. It's the day of redemption. This feast, as you know, lasts 7 days. So the last day of the feast is in the 21st of this month. It's going to happen on April 11 on Tuesday. So just keep in mind that the first day of the feast on the 15th and the last day of the feast on the 21 is Shabbat. So not work has to be done on those days. Okay. I also, and before explaining the Rachid Katsir, that maybe you already saw it and you are asking why, we have the question mark here. I will explain this one. I also, I'm also including in this calendar the moon cycles. So you have the four main phases of the moon. Over here, you know, Hanok is telling us, and actually the scripture is telling us in the Rashid that we need to follow and track the sun, the moon, and the stars. So it's not only counting the days of and checking when the equinox is. We need to track the cycles of the moon as well, and also the cycle of the stars. I'm still studying the cycle of the stars. I receive a new understanding, and I will prepare an information and I will share it with you as soon as possible. But anyways, the bottom line point here is that we need to track the three of them. So the whole intention here is to put the phases of the moon in each one of the months, so you will have the reference on how the moon is moving forward. The percentages here are based on my location in Chile, so maybe in your location it will vary a little bit, but it will serve you as a reference just to see when the phase of the moon is really going to happen. Okay. Last thing, and not the less, is the new section of the calendar is the parashot. So basically you have here the Shabbat that is in a different color, just not to forget it. And I included here the portion of for the week. So in the day you have the name of the portion and also the meaning in English. The name is in Hebrew and transliteration from Hebrew. And in the table below you have the same information about the portions of the parasha, the portion of the week, and what is the reading in the Torah, the Nevi'im, the Ketuvim, and the Brit Hadashah. You know, there's many other scriptures in the Brit Hadashah. Unfortunately, because of a space limit here, you can see I wasn't able to include all of them. I decided to keep the more relevant passage that is related to the Torah reading. So, you know, in the virtual house of Rob Skiba, in the website, he has all the resources for the parashot, the Torah cycle. So I recommend you to go there and take a look just to complement with the other passages. Okay? So that's basically the understanding of the calendar. So I'm going to go back. I know that you maybe are asking what's the situation with Rachid Katsir, so let me explain you what it is. Currently, there are two understandings on when Rachid Katsir needs to be celebrated. One is coming basically for traditions, somehow from the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and currently the Rabbinic Judaism. And also part of the Messianic groups also are having this kind of traditions and understanding. That basically means that the Rachid Katsir needs to be celebrated in the day following the first Shabbat during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Had HaMatzot. So if you see here that the Had HaMatzot is starting on the 15th, so the first Shabbat is at the 18th, so that means that the Rachid Katsir should be celebrated on the 19th. So that's why I put this first option over here. Just a comment before I forget. Some people misunderstand or call this feast Rachid Katsir as the first fruit. First fruit is Shavuot. Rachid Katsir is the first of the harvest. and is when we are commanded to take an omer of barley and present it as a ascending, it's an ascending, yes, ascending offering to YaHuWaH. So the second option, or the second understanding regarding Reshit Katsir, is coming from the Dead Sea Scrolls. According to the Qumran community, the Reshit Katsir has to be celebrated after the Feast of Unleavened Bread has been completed. So the concept is exactly the same. The day in Yom Rishon, the first day of the week after the Shabbat, is when Reshit Katsir needs to be celebrated. But in this case, according to the Dead Sea Scroll, the Feast of Unleavened Bread has to be finalized. So in this case, the Feast of Unleavened Bread is completed on the 21st of the month, meaning that the next Shabbat is on the 25th. So in the 26th, Reshit Katsir needs to be celebrated. So why I decided to keep it like that? Because currently I'm still don't have the understanding on when Reshit Katsir needs to be celebrated. What of the two options has to be followed? So far in my journey, I have been following this option, celebrating it on the 19th, for many reasons that maybe I will explain you in another video. But you know, I'm leaning myself to believe on what is written in the Dead Sea Scrolls, because it has a lot of harmony with Hanoch book, with the Messianic scriptures, and also with the whole historical context of what happened in Jerusalem. But the point is that I haven't received confirmation from YaHuWaH, and I haven't received any foundation on the Torah. So that's why, since I don't have the understanding, I decided to keep it like that. As soon as I have the understanding, I release a second version of the calendar saying when Reshit Katsir needs to be celebrated. You know, I have been fasting and praying for this. I have no doubt that our Abba YaHuWaH is going to give us the understanding. And why is this so important? Because Shavuot will depend, when we celebrate Shavuot, will depend on when Reshit Katsir is celebrated. So anyways, I started the Omer count, and the Omer count is the 49 days or 7 Shavuos or 7 Shabbat that we need to count between Reshit Katsir and Shavuot. And you know that in the 50th day, Shavuot has to be celebrated. So I started the Omer count on the 19th, and it's moving forward in the next month. So you can see over here, day 42. And in the third month, here, third month, is when Shavuot should be celebrated. So if we start in the Omer count on the 19th, in the first option of Reshit Katsir, Shavuot should be celebrated on the 8th of the month. That means on May 28th, Sunday. Okay, that should be the day number 50. If we are starting or celebrating Reshit Katsir on the 26th of the first month, this should be not the 50, the day 50 should be the day 43. Yes, 43. So that's why I included the Omer count here on red. It's basically the sequence that we should follow in case Reshit Katsir is celebrated on the 26th of the first month. That means that if we are celebrating on the 26th, Shavuot should be in the next week, meaning on the 15th of the third month, on June 4th, we should celebrate Shavuot. So that's the situation. Another thing that you will find in the calendar, as I said, every month has 30 days, but in some months, in the month 3, 6, 9, and 12, we have a special day that is not counted in the reckoning of the month, but it needs to be counted in the reckoning of the year, are the intercalary days based on the Hanoch the days of remembrance based on the book of Jubilees, Sefer HaYovelim, Jubilees. So this one on June 20 should be the first day of remembrance. The first intercalary day should be the day of the solstice. So the same thing you have in the 6th month, with the second day of remembrance, is going to be the day of the equinox, and it's going to be just after that day we are starting with the new day. So let me show you that. When we have an intercalary day, basically the month is ending on the 30th. We have a special day that is not counting as a set on the month. It's the day of remembrance or intercalary day. This day is not counting but on the month, but yes, we need to do it in the year. But the next month is starting after this day. So that means on the first day of the 7th month, it will start also in a Wednesday. Actually, every season is starting on a Wednesday, on the 4th day of the week. So the first of the 7th month, Yom Teruah, should be on the 4th day of the week. And here you have it. This is going to be on September the 20th, on Wednesday. We celebrate Yom Teruah. Then we have in the 10th of the month, Yom HaKippurim. Keep in mind that this is on, we need to celebrate on the evening of 9. So over here, the entire 9 until the evening of the 10th. That's Yom HaKippurim. That's starting on September 28th and completing it on September 29th evening, just the night before the Shabbat. Okay, Sukkot we're starting on the 15th, on October the 4th, and it's lasting 7 days. So the last day of the feast is on the 21st, and then we have the special day, the 8th day of the feast is Shemini Atzeret, and this is happening on the 11th of October. Okay, so this is the calendar. As I told you, it's very easy to follow. I think it's not difficult to understand. It's just as following the luminaries, what the YaHuWaH created in the Shamayim. It's easy to follow. We just to look for the knowledge and understanding to follow this calendar and the luminaries. And the written version that I am presenting to you, the one that I created, is not difficult to follow either. So I hope it's going to be a blessing for you, and that it's going to be a real benefit for you. I know that the Reshit Katzir is an important thing, and again, pray with me, pray for me, in order to receive the understanding. Maybe if you receive the understanding, share it with me, share it with us, because we are the body of Mashiach. Every one of us are receiving pieces of the information, pieces of the truth. So that's the way we contribute between ourselves in our edification. Again, for those of you that already requested a copy of the calendar, I'm gonna start sending it now. So if you haven't requested a copy of the calendar, just send me an email to light2everynation@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to share this with you. It's my teruma, it's my contribution for the service of our Avinu, our Father, our Abba, YaHuWaH. So if somehow I can help you by doing this in your journey, believe me, it's a blessing for me as well. So enjoy the video. If in case you have any comments on the calendar, or if you have any questions, something that is not clear, just send me an email. I'll do my best to answer you as soon as possible. Believe me, everything that I can do for you in your journey, I will try to do my best to do it. So enjoy again, Shana Tova, and Shalom to all of you. Bye.